On that cold and glittering night in Paris, in the glow of the Champs-Élysées, everyone's eyes were fixed on the Harry Winston showroom standing proudly on Avenue Montaigne. This was the place where the world's richest, most powerful, and most glamorous people came to buy diamonds. Every evening here felt almost magical. In this fortress of extraordinary luxury and security, the staff kept smiling. The atmosphere was soft like a cushion. Every corner was captured in the eyes of CCTV, and behind bulletproof glass, diamonds, necklaces, bracelets, and tiaras worth millions of dollars sparkled. But that night, something different was about to happen. Not a movie drama. This was a real heist, and the script had been written by the thieves themselves. Inside the store, a few extremely attractive and stylish women walked in. Their walk showed confidence, and their clothes were full of glamour. No one could imagine that they were not customers, but robbers whose names would soon be recorded in crime history as the heist of the century. This was the beginning of that crime which shook Paris and robbed jewelers around the world of their sleep. These glamorous women were actually men wearing wigs and high heels. They not only had makeup and style, but full planning. Their real target was diamonds and jewelry worth more than $110 million, and with every passing second, they fooled the police, the security system, everyone. Who could ever imagine that in such a high-profile, high-tech showroom in front of dozens of customers and guards, without noise and without a single bullet fired, diamonds would disappear? The heist of the century. This was not just a journalist's headline, but the fear in the eyes of every police officer, detective, and the world's biggest jewelers. How did robbers walk through the glamorous glow of Paris's most secure showroom and take away diamonds worth millions? Why did French police, the Dog Squad, Interpol, and insurance companies spend months scratching their heads? And who was the mastermind team that turned glamour into crime? In the Paris of 2000, the streets of Avenue Montaigne and Champs-Élysées glowed every night with dreams and wealth. Here one could find Oscar winners, billionaires, royalty, and international players. Everyone came to Paris for luxury, and the brightest star of this luxury was Harry Winston. This brand was not just about jewelry or diamonds, it had become a symbol of prestige and power. From New York's Fifth Avenue to Paris, the arrival of Harry Winston's Grand Salon made 19 Avenue Montaigne the most exclusive luxury destination in Europe overnight. Security here was so tight that the doors were open only for the rich and famous. For every stranger, the walls stood twice as high. The Harry Winston showroom felt like a museum. Art Deco architecture, marble and gold work, special wrought iron railings on the stairs, and the biggest treasure behind bulletproof glass. Every small and big object, every hall and hallway was watched by CCTV, fingerprint locks, and motion sensors. Whoever the customer was, a Hollywood actress, a football star, or an Arab sheik, there was always an identity and intent check. The security guards were always armed, the jewelry vaults operated with separate biometric access, and insurance agents frequently audited everything to make sure no mistake was possible. Harry Winston's heritage was so strong that when Marilyn Monroe said diamonds are a girl's best friend, people actually thought of Harry Winston. Audrey Hepburn, Elizabeth Taylor, Angelina Jolie. Every Oscar night or Cannes red carpet, Winston diamonds shined even before the dresses became famous. Arab princesses, French businessmen, Russian tycoons. For every luxury dreamer, the Winston showroom was the ultimate experience. The world knew that when someone owned a Winston necklace or ring, they didn't just have jewelry, they carried an entire heritage. But Paris was a place where luxury and old French tradition shined, and danger grew silently behind it. For decades, Paris was called the world capital of luxury, and also the capital of high-value theft. The 1970s daylight robbery at Van Cleef & Arpels, the 1980s elderly jewel thieves, the 1990s Hollywood-style raids at Bulgarian Chaumet. These were all part of Paris's strange chemistry of underground crime and luxury. Paris had seen everything from Napoleon to revolutions, couture fashion to organized crime. Its winding boulevards and flashy life gave anonymity. The illegal resale network was strong, police response was often stuck in traffic, and criminals always found an insider or weak link. All this existed around the showroom where the world's most powerful jewels were sold, and where in 2008, the foundation of the heist of the century was laid. The Harry Winston showroom became a symbol of the battle between luxury paranoia and Parisian underworld, where behind every sparkle lay fear, and behind every heritage piece hid an unspoken danger. Paris wasn't just fashion and romance, it was crime and legend. Every story here had many layers, like diamonds, only the reader needed the eyes to see them. The heist began with a blend of danger and style, targeting the most expensive streets of Paris, and the Harry Winston showroom was not easy. It was a fortress, bulletproof doors, biometric locks, and armed guards. But the thieves didn't choose the ordinary way. They chose the disguise worn at Paris high society parties: silky wigs, glittering skirts, stockings, high heels, and heavy makeup. They didn't use cross-dressing as a joke or a distraction. It was part of their master plan. They could escape positional surveillance and appear like glamorous clients to the staff and bystanders. For a long time they circled the showroom on motorcycles and cars, noted timings and guards' habits, and came at different times with different disguises. Their access to targeted consignments was not normal reconnaissance. When police later reviewed showroom inventory and chronology during the investigation, several staff members and guards appeared repeatedly in the CCTV footage of those nights. Over the weeks, suspicion grew. Either an insider leaked information, or like previous heists, a clever employee told the thieves which day the most diamonds, tiaras, and necklaces would be displayed. Some believed that inventory planning emails exchanged among showroom managers had somehow leaked. During the court trial, it came out that a guard named Milut Gend had shared inside information in the first heist. Paris police also discovered that this gang was not local petty thieves. They were directly connected to the notorious organized group Pink Panthers, masters of international jewel theft. Across Europe, the Pink Panthers had planned many high-profile robberies using disguise, distraction, and ultra-fast operations. The thieves studied showroom surveillance with extreme detail. They observed everything. They noticed that after noon, the security guards went on breaks. Clients reached the night peak, but the staff was already tired, and just before closing time, the valuables in the showroom were dismounted. That was the weakest link. During the shift change, when the front door security overlapped with the next guard entering and the previous team exiting, the robbers rushed inside at the fastest pace. The timing was critical. The robbery was done during the Christmas season, when the shop was filled with the most valuable jewelry, and the robbers used the noise of traffic, crowds of shoppers, and the festive Parisian atmosphere to their advantage. The incredible part was that during the robbery there was no noise, no panic, and no gunshots. The robbers entered with complete confidence and stylish attitude, used a machine gun only to terrify the staff, called employees by their names from the inventory lists, and opened whatever they wanted. In just 20 minutes they had more than $110 million USD worth of jewelry in their hands, and during that time the security could not even imagine that these glamorous women were actually disguised men. The Pink Panthers and their French associates showed that information, disguise, and timing were the three biggest weapons that could bring even a luxury fortress like Paris to its knees. This daring heist was not just courage and patience, but the result of organized crime, inside leaks, and surveillance loopholes. It truly became the definition of the heist of the century. The real planning of the Harry Winston heist started from the dark mixture of Paris's luxury, crime, and glamour. In this robbery, cross-dressing was not a movie gimmick. It was a purposeful disguise. Three robbers used silky wigs, skirts, stockings, high heels, and heavy makeup to create the illusion of glamorous foreign women. One wore a red wig, another designer sunglasses, and the third high-low heels and a Japanese clutch. This was not just confusion or a joke, but a mask so strong that no surveillance camera, staff member, or customer could detect their true identity. Under the cover of that glamour, these men had been studying the outside surveillance and staff timings of the showroom for many weeks. Paris police and court trials revealed that the robbers targeted the same information about storerooms and vaults usually known only to management or floor staff. One of the inventory changing and delivery dates leaked from interoffice mail, possibly because of an insider. During the trials, one guard came forward and admitted he had delivered internal improvements and inventory schedules to his gang. He said, "My thoughts are with my former colleagues at Harry Winston. I am ashamed every day, but I cannot undo what I have done." But many theories circulated that through the Balkan crime syndicate Pink Panthers, a cleaning crew member or temporary staff may also have leaked information accidentally. This gang was not petty thieves. Tracing showed that mastermind Da Yahievi Dudu arranged manpower and getaway plans from Balkan syndicates, Balkas Mafias and the Pink Panthers network. Another theory from court records and police analysis said that the robbers knew about the $110 million USD fresh consignment, which arrived the very night after a routine showroom restock. Such information could only come from an insider or a back-end supplier. That is why investigators interrogated the staff for months, searched for rare blind angles in CCTV, and cross-checked traffic surveillance at prime time. The robbers exploited the surveillance loopholes of the showroom. During the Christmas season, using peak crowds and heavy street traffic, they executed the heist exactly during rush hour when staff was fatigued and guards were changing shifts. The timing was critical. A few minutes before closing time, most diamond sets were already in the showcases, and the vault was temporarily open because the final stock check was in progress. That vulnerable gap was everything, and the robbers struck like lightning. Across France, the Balkans and Europe's underworld, syndicates like the Pink Panthers were shaking. Police found evidence that soon after the heist many of the stolen jewels were sent into the Balkan crime world, and before authorities could reach them, the network had already gone red alert. But in spite of Paris's toughest surveillance and strongest security, the heist gang robbed the showroom in 20 minutes with almost no resistance and escaped boldly. Crime history had rarely seen a robbery so slick, glamorous, and perfectly timed. That is why the planning of the Harry Winston heist was considered a masterclass. Information, disguise, timing, and the exploitation of human weakness brought luxury, crime, and the world of Paris into one shocking frame. It was December 2008, a cold and glittering night. Paris was once again drowned in shimmering lights on its most popular avenue. But inside the Harry Winston showroom, history was about to be written in darkness. In the freezing cold, 4 robbers, 2 disguised as glamorous women, reached the door of the showroom. Makeup, wigs, high heels, designer coats, and sparkling perfume were their weapons. 2 of them acted so well that both outside and inside employees thought they were VIP clients. Their walk, voice, and attitude gave the feeling of pure luxury. They had walked around the parking and windows hours earlier. They studied timing. Their disguise was so convincing that the secure doors of the showroom opened without suspicion. The trust factor of the employees, earned through days of planning, fake accents, and elegant Parisian attitude, matched perfectly with a gap in security. As they entered, the 2 disguised women walked on the marble floor, their high heels clicking softly. Every staff member first looked at their eyes, then their bags, because VIP clients often carried designer clutches with large sums of money. One asked about a diamond bracelet. The other referenced the luxury watch stock. Suddenly the 3rd and 4th burglars stepped inside. One carried a small semi-automatic weapon, the other a short gun. Yet the atmosphere did not feel like fear. It felt like raw glamour. As they moved ahead like ordinary customers, fake smiles and layers of makeup covered their faces. Suddenly the weapons flashed and the whole showroom froze. Employees and clients who were moments earlier dreaming of luxury shopping were now petrified stones. One robber gave a loud and confident order in French: "Everyone must stand against the wall." The others took out their bags and demanded the inventory lists, known only to the inner employees. They called every employee by their first name, asked about the hidden latch of the vault, and directed them to the correct lockers. It is said the gang knew everything from an inside leak. Security system alarm wires were cut, and when one employee tried to press the panic button, a robber stopped him instantly by pointing a pistol. The marble hallway echoed only with the clicking of heels, the sparkle of diamonds, and the silent terror of employees. The entire atmosphere froze. There was no sound of fear or chaos. The whole showroom looked like a freeze frame where luxury, suspense, and danger stood together. Paris's elite clients came to this showroom trusting its safety. But that night Harry Winston's security fell weak in front of a glamorous conspiracy. The robbers ordered the showcases to be opened. Rare diamond necklaces and emerald sets went directly into the bags. One robber used her disguised nails to open the glass and laid several heist bags on the spotlight table. Another pointed towards the vault, and they asked the staff for the exclusive vault codes. No resistance, No gunshot, only luxury, fear, and thrill locked together in a way no one dared to break. In this clash of glamour and crime, the disguised women reached the most secure corridors of the showroom, places impossible for any outsider to enter. Paris that night felt like the set of a thriller film, but inside the Harry Winston showroom, in just 20 minutes, about $120 million USD worth of diamonds, jewelry, and rare watches filled their bags. The entire operation was silent, precise, and glamorous, like a cinematic nightmare where the greatest danger hid behind beauty. As the final diamond necklace went into the bag, the gang leader made an employee verify the last code. All four robbers, with their wigs, heels, and fake elegance, walked confidently toward the main door. As the door opened, they vanished into the cold Paris night. The glittering security of Paris fell powerless in front of their deception strategy. The Harry Winston showroom once again became the living witness of the heist of the century. In the cold December night of 2008, the Harry Winston showroom shone with all its glamour and protection. But no one knew the storm that was about to break. Four robbers, two dressed as women with shining makeup, long gowns, high heels, wigs, and designer perfume, arrived at the door with elite Parisian style. Their attitude made every employee believe they had a special appointment or were VIP clients. The door opened. Inside the world of luxury, these disguised women entered as if they shopped there every day. One smiled. Another asked about a diamond bracelet. They behaved as if the showroom was their trusted place. The luxury watches and rare emeralds sparkled around them. The employees were fully convinced. VIP treatment, security protocols, tea, coffee, everything routine. And then suddenly the atmosphere changed. Two more robbers entered. One pulled out a semi-automatic weapon, the other a short gun. The air was filled with silent signals of fear. Everyone froze. In seconds, the world of luxury turned into the world of suspense. One disguised female robber ordered the employees in French to stand against the wall. All employees obeyed immediately. The other robbers demanded the inventory and asked for the codes to access the vault. They knew every detail, people's names, the vault's location, the layout, everything leaked from inside. Small safety alarms, panic buttons, every security attempt became useless in front of their weapons in stylish deceit. Yet there was no gunshot, no loud noise, only a strange mix of luxury, suspense, and courage that was stronger than the trust of Paris's elite clients. The showcases opened. Rare necklaces and diamond sets went into bags. Employees stood frozen. The road to the police was blocked, and the gang showed no fear. One disguised robber used her long nails to scoop every piece of jewelry into the bags, and then reached the vault. A cinematic clash of glamour and crime unfolded in Paris. In about 20 minutes the entire showroom was emptied into the bags. The clicking of high heels, the strange blend of flowing luxury and courage, created by the wigs, made the Harry Winston showroom the most unforgettable night in Parisian crime history. That night, the employees and clients felt only one thing: how big the danger could be behind all the glamour. As soon as the four robbers hidden in glamorous disguise entered the Harry Winston showroom, the atmosphere changed instantly. They didn't allow any delay because they had only 20 minutes in which they wanted to steal the biggest diamonds in jewelry. The entire plan was so precise and fast that they wanted to finish their work without any noise. As soon as they reached the display cases, the robbers quickly pulled out sledgehammers and nail guns. They had special gadgets, so that the strength of the showcases, the bulletproof glass, and the security systems wouldn't be affected. One by one they started breaking the shining glass. With every crack, big pieces of glass, scattered like sugar, and into their hands came rare and exquisitely crafted diamond necklaces, watches, and exclusive Harry Winston jewelry. There was no sign of violence in this operation. They threatened the employees but without firing a single bullet. Their voices carried both authority and caution. Under these threats the entire showroom felt frozen. No one could move. The employees were made to stand against the wall. Some even removed their own jewelry out of fear. But there was no panic or chaos. The robbers worked with complete seriousness. They checked the inventory list, without any mistake, picking up rare necklaces and placing them in specific bags. Their eyes stayed on the jewels that held some of the world's most important stones, like those similar to the Millennium Star. These diamonds were known not just for beauty but for unmatched purity and rarity, which is why they were kept with special security. The weight of the jewel-filled bags grew heavier, and with the same skill they prepared to leave the showroom. Every step showed the alertness, speed and experience hidden in their sleeves. They knew threats alone weren't enough. Every second was precious. This 20-minute intrusion was cruel but calculated, something that could leave any lover of crime stunned. This mix of luxury and crime became a new chapter in the sparkling world of Paris. Inside the showroom, where rare and one-of-a-kind diamonds gleamed, the terror of the skilled robbers ruled. They finished the theft without any disturbance, without firing a single bullet. In this non-violent suspense thriller, everyone was held down, lovers of luxury, the showroom staff, and even the glittering streets of Paris. This heist wasn't just a robbery, it was a new understanding in crime history. Glamour, disguise, and non-violent tactics created a special style. It showed that a robbery doesn't only need explosions, it also needs fear, strategy, and stealth. This night proved that no matter how strong bulletproof glass is, if the robbers are so talented and work while understanding the value of every jewel, even the best security can fail. Everything stolen from the Winston showroom wasn't just jewelry, it was a sign of wealth, power, and glamour. This theft gave birth to a new era in the world of jewelry heists. As soon as those four robbers in glamorous disguise entered the Harry Winston showroom, the atmosphere changed instantly. They had only about 20 minutes in which they wanted to steal the biggest and most valuable diamonds, necklaces, bracelets, and watches. Their plan was prepared with such hard work that they decided to finish their work without any noise. In their hands were sledgehammers and nail guns, used especially to break the display cases. These weapons were extremely effective in breaking bulletproof glass and defeating the security system. One by one they shattered the shining glass, and behind it lay rare, exquisitely crafted diamond necklaces, watches, and special Harry Winston jewelry. Throughout the operation there was not the slightest sign of violence. The robbers threatened the employees but did not fire. Their voices carried authority and caution. All the employees inside the showroom froze in fear. They were pushed against the wall, and some even removed their own jewelry. Yet not a single moment of panic appeared. While stealing, the robbers checked the inventory list very carefully. The rare and extremely valuable necklaces were placed into special bags with great caution. Some of the stones were so rare they ranked among the world's most prestigious diamonds, like the Millennium Star. These diamonds were famous for their beauty, purity, and rarity, which is why they were kept under special security. The bags filled quickly, and they prepared to exit the showroom. Their every step showed skill and speed. They knew their time was limited, so every second was precious. These 20 minutes were cool but also extremely organized and calculated. This mix of luxury and crime became a new chapter in the sparkling world of Paris. Inside the showroom, where rare and one-of-a-kind diamonds gleamed, this theft created a dramatic scene. The robbers achieved their target without guns, without violence, with only strategy and threat. This event was a new style in crime history, where glamour, disguise, and non-violent tactics together shaped a new form of crime. It proved that theft doesn't need noise, it can be done through fear and intelligence. This night's robbery showed that even the strongest bulletproof glass means nothing when robbers are trained enough to understand the value of every jewel. Everything stolen from Harry Winston wasn't just a piece of jewelry, but a symbol of royal wealth, power, and glamour. This event gave a new color to the history of jewelry heists in Paris and around the world. The robbers, carrying bags full of loot, walked out of the showroom with complete calm, as if they had just finished a luxury shopping routine. Their walk showed no hurry or fear. After the JCB, weapons and disguises, this was their greatest talent, leaving the crime scene without a single error. They didn't panic or rush, because they knew their time was limited, and rushing would destroy the plan. Every employee still stood frozen against the wall, shocked by the entire experience. Outside in the glow of Avenue Montaigne, the getaway vehicles were ready. A fast-moving luxury SUV and 2 motorcycles. The drivers had already mapped every possible route considering traffic and police. One team member removed the wigs and gloves, checked the surroundings, and signaled everyone to move. They quickly headed into the crowded areas of the city, where the crowd and traffic would confuse the police. The getaway vehicles had layered support. Several different vehicles traveled along different routes, making it even harder for police to track them. Most employees were still in shock and disbelief. Robbers who looked like women in high heels, wigs and glittering dresses were suddenly revealed to be men. People who spoke softly suddenly turned into armed criminals, and before anyone could understand, everything was over. The entire operation took only 15 to 20 minutes, but it held a full story of luxury, suspense, and psychological domination. In the streets of Paris, where jewel theft always lurked, these robbers were unexpected. Slowly, the getaway vehicles carried them away. They faded into the night, as if Paris itself had fallen into a magical darkness. Police knew their escape was supported by disguise, planning, and flawless execution. Even years later, the precision and coolness of this escape were discussed everywhere. Packing the loot and walking out so calmly became a masterclass in crime history. Documentaries, courtroom testimonies, and memories of that cold Paris night made that getaway feel like the climax of a crime thriller, where glamour kept the crime alive, and the fugitives left their mark behind. In this way, after pulling off the sparkling theft from the Harry Winston showroom, the four accused disappeared into the dark night of Paris, through disguise, planning, and a perfect getaway, remembered even today in the world of crime history. The next morning, the headline of every major Paris newspaper carried the same shocking news. The $110 million heist at the magnificent Harry Winston showroom was enough to shake the entire city. In the glow of the Champs-Élysées, where everyone was celebrating luxury and the festive season, this theft created a storm of panic. From Paris's elite circles to the global jewelry market, one question echoed: how could such a reputed name with such advanced technology and trained guards be robbed in a single night? The police quickly sealed the crime scene, surrounded the showroom, and restricted movement. Teams studied every CCTV camera and security system. But understanding the depth of the crime was not easy. Harry Winston's credibility came under question, because the biggest name in luxury jewelry had failed in its own security. Amid media frenzy, this theft was compared to Hollywood-style heists. Because of the robbers' cleverness and glamorous disguise, headlines like "Men dressed as women pull off historic heist" spread everywhere. People wondered how robbers bypassed bulletproof glass, biometric security, and armed guards, and stole $110 million worth of jewelry. Curiosity grew every day, and discussions about this historic heist never stopped. This mix of crime and glamour shook Paris. It wasn't just a loss of wealth. It tested the city's security system and elite lifestyle. People kept analyzing how such a well-planned, well-timed robbery couldn't be stopped or detected. How insider leaks helped the robbers, and who these criminals were, connected deeply to organized crime. This historic heist joined the long list of high-value robberies in Paris and redefined policing, surveillance, and jewelry business security. The investigation and court proceedings made this crime an example that blurred the lines between crime thrillers and real life. In the end, this theft was also a lesson about how much danger hides behind the shine of glamour. It is needed, and crime is never defeated by new technology or bravery alone, but only by intelligence and alertness. This theft in Paris kept creating a blend of fear and fascination in millions of hearts, becoming a favorite subject of crime documentaries and literature until today. As soon as the news of the Harry Winston showroom robbery spread in Paris, the police immediately began the investigation. In the early investigation, the CCTV footage was watched again and again, so the main suspects of the robbery could be identified. But the challenge was that the robbers had created a master plan of cross-dressing. Because of this, they looked like disguised women, and neither fingerprints nor any clear identity evidence was found. Heavy disguise, wigs, makeup, and high heels protected them from both security guards and cameras. This confused the investigators about who they truly were. As the investigation moved forward, the police suspected that this was not a simple local gang, but was related to the organized Balkan crime gang known as the Pink Panthers. This gang was famous across Europe for its high-profile jewelry heists, which were known for speed, excellent disguise, and perfect planning. French police documents mentioned that some members of this gang had been committing such crimes in big European cities for years. Along with this, it was also considered that the gang took help from local people in Paris, who provided insider knowledge and helped prepare escape routes. In the investigation, it was widely discussed that this robbery could be a complete inside job. Some clues revealed that security employees quietly helped in planning the robbery. A security guard named Moulod Jade admitted in court that he had given insider information to the gang, because of which the planning and timing of the robbery became so perfect. This guard had full knowledge of the internal operations of the showroom. Because of this, the robbers got the right time and understanding of when the most valuable jewelry would be inside the showroom. From 2009 to 2011, the Paris police made many arrests. Some gang members were caught. Among them was the mastermind, Du Dioe, also known as Du. Yaoe had organized the whole gang, given instructions, and even handled the selling of the jewelry after the robbery. In 2011, the police recovered more than $25 million USD worth of jewelry from a drain in Paris Saint-Denis, which had been hidden there after the robbery without any change. Despite this, a large part of the total loot of about $6.5 million USD is still missing. There are many reasons the entire robbery has not been recovered until now. A part of the loot spread quickly into the international black market. Some jewelry was cut into small pieces. The deep network of the Balkan gang made tracking difficult. Insider help hid the clues of the robbery. This Paris incident helped understand organized crime, international jewel theft, and insider collusion in a new way. It also became clear that even with high-tech surveillance and security, insider leaks and professional planning can cross all limits of technology. The Harry Winston heist remains a big challenge and a mystery in crime history, and the investigation continues. As the news of the Harry Winston robbery spread across the world from Paris, its echo reached Europe, America, and Asia. This event was not just a robbery, it was a new chapter in the history of luxury. It challenged the entire jewelry industry. This robbery forced luxury brands to rethink their security systems seriously. Most luxury showrooms tightened their security standards. Biometric security. Dozens of surveillance cameras and advanced motion sensors were strengthened. The number of security staff was increased, and cybersecurity was added to their training. Insurance companies also toughened their protocols to reduce the risk of such high-value heists. The Paris police not only continued the investigation, but also learned from this robbery that international criminal networks, like the notorious Balkan Pink Panthers, needed special attention. Working with Interpol, the Paris police launched new operations across Europe to stop such organized crime. In the media, this case was repeatedly seen as Europe's most glamorous heist because it was not just a robbery, but an example of glamour disguised in high-profile planning. Many documentaries, true crime series, and books presented it like a crime thriller. The streets of Paris, luxury boutiques, and these highly skilled robbers became the elements of their story. This heist showed that whether it is a glamorous exterior or the shine of precious jewels, it is necessary to stay alert against modern forms of crime. Paris wrote this chapter of the intersection of luxury and crime in its history, becoming a living example of crime prevention. This event is still a study case for jewelry theft prevention and luxury crime control, inspiring better coordination between security protocols, law enforcement, and the insurance industry. Was this the most perfect jewelry heist? The question still echoes in people's minds. When we remember that cold Parisian night of 2008, when 4 criminals, 3 of them cross-dressed, entered the Harry Winston showroom. Their disguise, meticulous planning, and the whole operation seemed like a cinematic brilliance. Or was it an internal betrayal that gave them such deep and sensitive information? This is a mystery that keeps their story interesting and controversial even today. Breaking the shining glass with Hilti nail guns, working carefully along the jacket edges, and emptying the entire showcase without firing a single bullet. This was just a job for them. But those close to them might have known that as glamorous as it looked, it was equally dangerous and calculated. The employees standing in front of them, silent like part of a normal performance until they were threatened, were not only scared but felt as if they were part of a bigger drama. And the real game began when those uncut diamonds, rare necklaces, antique watches, and Harry Winston's exclusive collections inside the display cases were filled into bags. Some jewels were rare, like those close to the Millennium Star. Their silky shine and thickness were filled with unique magic. Their prices were measured not in thousands, but in millions of dollars. Their security was so strict that only select clientele could ever see them. As soon as they removed all beautiful and rare jewelry from their place, through knowledge, disguise, and cool planning, they emptied the entire shop within 20 minutes. They walked out, hard work done, confident and not nervous at all. The vehicles were waiting for them, which allowed them to blend into the sparkling streets of Paris with complete loneliness and secret cleverness. But was this truly the praise of their intelligence, or was there a bigger insider mastermind who planned everything and guided the robbers in the right direction? Even today, the investigation after that night struggles to answer this question. Insiders helped keep them safe for a long time, making the entire planning, execution, and getaway feel like the story of a classic James Bond film. And even today, the whole world knows that a part of the $58 million USD worth of necklaces, earrings, and jewelry may be hidden somewhere in one of those dark alleys of Paris, still unrecovered. This robbery may have failed in some parts, but its story, the style of that night, and its planning made it a truly legendary crime. This heist became a chapter between glamour, crime, and brilliance that changed the definition of luxury crime. Those four robbers, their wigs, their heels, and the smartness hidden behind their fearless masks, will always shine in crime history. Do you think this was just the work of a criminal genius, or part of a deeper inside conspiracy? This mystery, this question keeps the story alive till today. Even today, a part of those $110 million USD world diamonds might be shining somewhere in a dark corner of the world. The Harry Winston Paris heist remains perhaps the biggest question of a perfect heist.